My name is David Coran.
And I'm Steve Gutierrez. Welcome. Today is Thursday, December 13th, 2012. This is the broadcast of Crowdfunding Daily News TV.
And we are the crowdfunding guys.
The crowdfunding guys, yes we are.
Our passion is crowdfunding in all its forms and flavor.
This show, the video show, is produced to provide you with the most relevant and daily crowdfunding news, campaign information. This is put together to help save you time, bring you quality and valuable information on a convenience basis within a 30-minute close daily dialogue and news of crowdfunding knowledge.
Just make sure you want to save your time.
Just save you time. Let me roll right into the crowdfunding news of the day, at least our top 5 items. Focus on these. The first one comes from the Wall Street Journal, and they're now on the mainstream media, the common, generic, non-financial services. Well, the Wall Street Journal is financial. Stalled crowdfunding rules leave businesses' plans on ice. The Wall Street Journal addressed the issue of crowdfunding that we have been talking about here for the last week or two here on Crowdfunding Daily News and at Crowdfunding Planning, calling attention to the requests we've made to our listeners. We call it the Twinkie Surge, since we highlighted the Hostess Company's need to build a crowdfunding environment. They want to do it on an equity basis and have that ready for the early part of next year. We need the SEC to get the legislation done for the Jobs Act, so those rules and regulations will be done. And the rule that went into effect, HR 3606, can be implemented, and the startup business environment can take their idea and bring it to the economy and start supporting the natural growth of jobs from it. The Journal even notes a company up in Corvallis, Oregon, Mega Tech of Oregon, and its CEO, Mr. Schroeder, is targeting to add 15 new people to help meet the demands of his business. What's holding him back? Well, right now it's unclear what will be the possible implementation of the rules of the law of what is the crowdfunding environment that he's still looking to utilize, and what those rules and regulations will be. There's another business. Instead of in Oregon, it's right down here in the San Clemente area, not far from us, and it's a pizza lounge. And this fledgling, small restaurant chain owner Gil Kizertat wants to raise $250,000 in the equity of sharing in the profitability of his business through a crowdfunding site for a 4th location, and he's down here in San Clemente. He can't raise the funds until the website would, allow him to basically build some funding and turbocharge the growth of his business. He's frustrated at the slow pace.
Because ask him to go see a bank.
No, the bank already told him no. He's already mad about that one. Anyway, so keep reminding our legislators that we need to move the Jobs Act and the crowdfunding process forward as soon as we can. We'll move to Forbes. Forbes lays out some predictions for 2013 with respect to the subject of crowdfunding. Now, I think some of us that are a little bit closer to the industry might have a slightly different point of view, but let us share with you Forbes' thinking. In 2012 was quite a year for crowdfunding industry. In April, President Obama signed the Jobs Act into law, which opened up the whole equity-based crowdfunding for unaccredited investors. In May, Pebble Watch and their electronic technology, raised an amazing $10 million on a donation base from their Kickstarter site. Research firm Mass Solution estimates the crowdfunding industry, which is the combination of equity-based, donation-based, micro-lending, and reward-based crowdfunding, will grow from $1.5 billion in 2011 to $2.8 billion in 2012. I think their statistics are a little off. We've already passed $3 billion for 2012, but that's all right. So Forbes has 3 concerns that they're raising with respect to crowdfunding. Let's share those with you. They believe that the implementation of the Jobs Act will not necessarily lead to that explosion in the crowdfunding industry. Well, why will it be smaller? They say the timing and the rules implementation will take longer than everyone expects. There's an adjustment period the businesses and the marketplace will take for the participants, the companies, the investors, the lawyers, the platforms, and all the other things to get ready to do this. And quite frankly, I can agree with them on that. There's an adaptation process to these rules, and it will take a little bit of time. There will be fewer companies will be able to raise capital because of these slowdowns in the implementation of the rules. So again, I raise to you the Twinkie Surge, Hostess. We want our Hostess cupcakes back and all of their goodies. Let's call our White House. Let's call our senators. Let us call our legislators and say, get the SEC to finish putting those rules together. The second issue that Forbes brings to light is that donation-based crowdfunding sites will either die or have to differentiate themselves because there are, quite frankly, so many of them right now. Kickstarter, as we all know, jumped out to a huge lead, and they have had some of the most successful campaigns. We've worked within their system with a number of our clients, and I'll truly tell you, Kickstarter has done well. They will need to offer other aspects of crowdfunding within their ecosystems and their websites. Forbes notes a third thing, and I think this is very, very significant news. Angel investor groups will eagerly embrace crowdfunding. David, you and I have both thought a lot about the hows and whys of that, and I think the facts are really simple, and Forbes even states them more clearly than I. Online platforms, including Circle Up, Kickstarter, Rocket Hub, and all the others, will provide a company and an investor experience for growth and validation of their product. Angel investors will be remaining strong in this environment because now these entities will have been educated. They will have built support and knowledge base on what is beyond the crowdfunding effort, what has validated that business idea. Now the angel investors and the venture capitalists will have even better odds at successfully investing in a business.
Again, I like to simplify everything. Crowdfunding is proof of concept. You go to an angel investor and say, I have a proof of concept and the crowd loves me. What are they going to say? No, we don't like you.
Yeah, we got some money, we built our prototype, we delivered it, we have a following, and we're ready to go. So we do expect some aspects of consolidation during 2013, where the best of breed and the smartest and the most capable functional sets for crowdfunding will be available and really become embraced by the innovative business community. Let's move on to our fourth area, and here's Forbes again with a lot of insight into crowdfunding. Their 4 tips to successfully crowdfunding a campaign. And you want to make your company a major player. You can't just rely on your own resources. You'll need outside funding. The good news is that there's alternatives to loans and angel investors and capital financing, and Forbes identifies crowdfunding as that methodology, utilizing the power of social media and the internet to fund projects via websites like Kickstarter and Rocket Hub. It's working. The guidelines for these are being more and more well-defined, but there are 4 things that are inherent to all crowdfunding campaigns that will be successful. The first one is prime the pump, and that's in essence is build your crowd. Crowd funding. No funding till you got a crowd.
You got it.
David and I really believe in that. And I'll tell you, everybody seems to continue to confirm that over and over again. So the best way it should be is to build that crowd of avid supporters for your campaign and for your product or your innovative idea and get them ready to help you look successful day one. The second element is build your network before you need it. My goodness, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have countless avenues to build and expand our following. Let us use that in our business development arena as well.
Maybe this gives a new meaning to your social capital. Social capital in past meant a whole different meaning, but right now, if you build your social capital, then it keeps giving because they come after and they invest.
They'll endorse you, and guess what they get to be? they get to be your primary sales force.
Absolutely.
By word of mouth to their social media and their friends, and expand that. How do you think Pebble Watch got 10 million when they asked for 100,000?
Yeah.
They leveraged that social media, friends of friends of friends of friends. The last item is that actually second to last, the third item is tell an engaging story. The crowd funds something when they feel a direct connection to this great idea. It's a game changer. It's just got superior team. You engage the people that are behind this brilliant idea in your video, in your sales pitch. That's fundamental to building your crowd. And then, last but not least, you got to offer them something tangible. The rewards can be a powerful incentive that the people will gravitate to because they endorsed this new idea, this great product, and they were on the first wave of it.
Just look at your award as a Girl Scout cookie offering. It's got to be tangible. It's got to be delicious. It's got to be really marketable. Because at the end, they see the presentation and they want to know what you offer.
So are we going to fight over rewards like we do over s'mores?
Exactly.
Anyway, we'll move on to one of my favorite topics I like to always include when we cover our top 5 articles, and that is that how do we do the research? How do we do the analytics to find our crowd? Well, here in the magazine it's an online blog and magazine called Business to Community, we have an outline of the 5 ways to use something that's almost free, and it is with your Google email, is the use of the Google Analytics tools. In fact, you can just go right onto Google Analytics and take a look at what's out there and available. We've talked about that in the past. We'll continue to bring information on that. Google Analytics can help you track the traffic that comes into your website from every single one of the social media sites that you are promoting yourself in. That will give you answers to how to more leverage and create more buzz regarding your product. There's a whole detailed overview of your social media marketing campaign in one convenient place, the Google Analytics tools. Second item of focus is they have a conversion report, the proof of concept of the return on your investment in social media. What is the conversion report? The Google Analytics will tell you conversion report shows the rates that you can turn monetary value of conversions into your visits from the social media sites or social networks. Make sure to have conversion goals set up. You want to know how many and what your targets are to track the people in your social networks. Okay? The third item is are people sharing your content? If your website pitching your innovative idea starts showing up on electronics news, starts showing up on Food Network if it's a food-related product, or if it shows up on the Sierra Club's website regarding some sort of innovative thing you're involved in to solve ecological problems, what a great way to get leverage beyond that. You could develop self-configurable sharing reports that help you track and understand where your content is being shared, hence where more prospects are to include in your network. The fourth item in the social media sites to focus on is, they continue to grow and emerge as an important avenue to reach. Google calls these, aspects of finding the most traffic. So let's leverage those and learn to use those as the social resources that they can be in your business. And the last item that Google talks to on this is, does your website need to be optimized for mobile users? My goodness, folks, we're all carrying around these smartphones these days. Let us take advantage of not only the computer network, the internet access, but all of the mobile methodologies that comes naturally out of a Google Fabric in their infrastructure, and it's very valuable to your business. So that's it for the 5 news articles of the week, or actually the day. We've had a lot of them this week. And I'll turn it back over to David, and he'll focus on a few of our campaigns.
Before I go to the campaign, I again like to simplify a lot of things. Regarding the Google Analytics, these are my recommendation. Number one, try to definitely go to Google and search for Google Analytics, or try to search for Google Webmaster Toolkit. Basically, you can put your website information, and they produce a code. You put the code inside the website, and they see the traffic coming and going. However, if you don't do that, and that's kind of complicated, you can go to what is called Google URL shortener. Basically, you log in, you use your email address, you type exactly what I said, Google URL shortener, and then it opens up. You cut and paste any web pages that you're using, your social media, your website, and so on and so forth. Once you put it there, it generates a very short URL, not the long one. And when you share that URL with whoever out there, as they click on it, Google conveniently keeps track of the clicks.
Analytics.
Correct. And why that is important, I'm going to make a simple example, and then I'm going to move to the crowdfunding campaign with you. Imagine that you are trying to raise $30,000, and you had a successful campaign, and you see your analytics shows that you had 100,000 visitors. But when you look at the database that crowdfunding companies they will give you, you see that you had 50,000 backers. Then the question is this: in average, how many or how much every backer invested on you? And so, David, it's easy. I got 30,000, I got 50,000 backer. Then you divide and you get. Now the question is, what is the conversion ratio? The conversion is, well, half of our backer, 50,000, they made the investment, but we had 100,000 people coming and viewing us. It's almost like a shopping mall. People, they come to the shop, but half of them they invest. Having these statistics allows you to go to your next crowdfunding campaign, knowing that how much you can push the throttle and how much more you can raise. Now, let's go to my favorite part of this. That's called crowdfunding campaign. The very first campaign that I'm going to review, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it up that you guys can see. The very first one is about the campaign that basically is called a Spark, Upgrade Your Lights with Wi-Fi Apps. And basically what it is this gentleman has made a socket that you can place your lights in it, and that light is controlled through your Wi-Fi. The issuer is a Spark device. I looked at it, and it's definitely on a Kickstarter, and it says a Spark is a simple product that connects your lights to internet, so you can control them from a smartphone, tablets, or any computer. The URL, it is in our blog, and if you can go there and take a look at it. They're trying to raise about $250,000, 250. At the time we reviewed them today, they were funded about $125,603. Congratulations.
Halfway there.
Definitely. I strongly believe that these folks, they go quadruple on this. Yeah. And so far, seems like I have a good track. In the office, they call me crowdfunding picker, and not a stock picker, crowdfunding. Anyway, the days left is 31. The campaign video, I highly recommend that you guys watch it. Very heartwarming video. Emotional intelligence is built, and ask is built. Emotional intelligence, please watch it. When the gentleman talks about his experience with his father, is really a big value, because the father actually could not hear, and the light was the element of controlling this stuff, and now he went and built the state. The reward is between, we counted somewhere about 10 rewards, between 10 to 10,000. And the very interesting thing about the 10,000 is, it says not much definition what they're offering you for 10,000. They're saying that, partners, listen, hey, big spender, let's talk. Call us. We tell you what you get for 10,000. And I really like it, because they're saying that they're open to suggestion. The next crowdfunding campaign came about something that is really not digital. It is not a state of art, but it's kind of ingenious. And the name of the campaign is the Herb Wheel Spice Up Your Kitchen. Basically, it's has another name called Grandma Stern's Herb Wheels Project. Is about the wheel that basically has suggestion regarding what you add to the food that you are cooking, and the net result of it is, as far as the analog way to go about it, it's very attractive, and what it does to the food is amazing. I actually showed it to a cook that I know, and he said he's going to order it. The URL campaign is on our website. They were trying to just raise about 2,500, and guess what? They have raised already 10,934. That's a lot of Twinkie, isn't it?
They got 7 days left. Well, spicy Twinkies,
exactly.
But it's an herb wheel.
Exactly. Therefore, a word to all this news that they are talking about, that crowdfunding is not going to approve. Crowdfunding is already in front of 2.5 billion people in the world, and they will support it regardless if it's crowdfunding reward or crowdfunding donation, and basically crowdfunding equity would spice everything up. 7 days left in this. Lovely story. Love the music background. Please watch this video. You learn a lot. The reward is it's 14 rewards between 1 to 100, and just as a surprise, I want you to read the last reward. It's very interesting. The next one actually is very first sustainable helmet, actually made from fiber, the helmet that you can wear when you are doing a bicycling, and is in Indiegogo, and they are basically saying that all the helmet ever made as of today is made outside the United States, and also made with with petroleum, and later on, as we want to recycle it, there's a lot of issues with it, but this particular helmet is made from the natural fiber. Designed from Corvallis, Oregon, in United States, and the campaign is running on Indiegogo. The goal has been to raise 27,000, and as of today, they have raised 17,000.
And they got 5 days left.
Therefore, I recommend our listeners. We got somewhere over 40,000-50,000 listeners and viewers. We see those statistics coming to the analytic part of the so-called YouTube or Google. We highly recommend to support this. We find this as a very, very good idea. And the next, actually, what they want to raise the money is, our objective is to actually to certify first line of natural fiber for bicycle helmets. I'm done with this free review. I have one announcement. We just received this T-shirt, and you just click on that green one. Yes, now go down. Okay, that's good. We just received this T-shirt, and basically we consulted with a local Newport Beach entrepreneur to raise money for her goal, and she reached the goal, and as part of the investment that we did, because we do make an investment, we like it, she is kind enough to send us the T-shirt and also the
music CD that she produced.
Correct.
So therefore, we play that as background music for all of our thinkers in the office.
Correct. Therefore, it is real, guys. It really pays, and Nettie already told us that she's going to go ahead and do another crowdfunding. Therefore, there is something called serial crowdfunder, and Nettie is going to be one of them. And please plug in. Go ahead.
Well, we'll also cover in news as we work closer and closer with many of the campaigns that we're involved in, is crowdfunding should become, and we believe will become, an integral part of your business endeavor down the road. I got one item to cover as far as news and crowdfunding conferences and educational events, and it'll be an international flavor. The Ontario Ministry joins crowdfunding in a push for their exemption in Canada. The Ontario Minister, Mr. Brad Duguid, recently at the Technicity Conference in Toronto for Economic Development and Innovation, expressed support in Canada for introducing equity crowdfunding in that state, in Ontario, recognizing the need to keep innovators on the north side of the border from moving all their business to the south side of that border, us here in the U.S. He says it's really important that Ontario keep pace, if not try to get ahead of those Yanks in the U.S. Well, if we do that in a way, that will ensure the protection of the Canadian perspective on crowdfunding. I guess the Canucks got to have their own method to do things. Anyway, we applaud the Canadians for supporting this. Amazing is that I guess if you have a good idea, somebody wants to replicate it, and the Canadian proponents of crowdfunding have encouraged their regulators to adopt the measure as the U.S. has in the Jobs Act from our House of Representatives original bill that was enacted in April of this year, H.R. 2000 or H.R. 3006. So again, to make sure that we stay a half a step ahead of those Canucks, I'm calling on you again about our Twinkie Surge. Call the White House, call Congress, call your senator, get the SEC to write those rules and distribute them, maybe for a Christmas present.
And if you don't, then you will find Steve and I wearing Twinkies and making our broadcast on a Twinkie.
Oh, we're going to put our Twinkie outfits and yo-hos together.
Correct.
Anyway, that's enough of our international side and our events of the day. I think David has a quote of quotes for our crowdfunding audience.
Correct. And again, this is my favorite. I usually pick up a quote and I go over it. This one, it says, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. Then when you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Therefore, when it comes to crowdfunding, please learn, please share, and once you do that thing, after a while, you be an expert, because this is a brand new environment, and our audience, mostly they're small businesses, leaders, and please share as much as possible and advocate as much as possible. Well, at the end of the so-called our video broadcast, usually we cover something about activities that we do. If you want us to promote you, it's extremely simple. You get to crowdfundingplanning.com, and there's a hyperlink that it says, would you like to be promoted, or would you like us to promote you? And you click on it, just go through the steps. We'd be more than happy if you are working in crowdfunding environment, if you are raising money, if you're a crowdfunding website or portals, or if you are a crowdfunding professional, attorneys, IP people, accountants,
business process people, manufacturing experts, because you know, some of these great ideas, they got this great idea that they built in a prototype. Now they got to figure out how to put a production line together.
And we'd be more than happy to promote. We have many ways to do. Again, our channel, we are getting lucky, we are getting up to 50, 60,000 views of this broadcast that we do, and that is a big, big promotion. Then get to the last stage for detail of
for the details about any of the subjects or the campaigns that we've covered today, and any of the interest items that we touched on, please give us a holler at our phone number of 877-448-4968, or on the internet at info@crowdfundingplanning.com. And if you want to be a guest, we will be glad to include you electronically via a teleconference and bring your video in with us, or your image in with us in interactive mode over the net, or in person if you get a chance to come here in Southern California. We'll bring you into our conference room here, and we'll put you into our live studio. Correct. And now I would suggest to you, there are many ways to reach us. Also through Crowdfunding Daily News, we have a Contact Us tab.
Absolutely. Now, go crowdfund with
passion, a plan, and leverage all the power you can find from all those experts that will share their knowledge with you.
See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you so much.